Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the AABC Virtual Technology Showcase. My name is Cassie, and I'm excited to be your host today as we dive into some of the latest innovations driving the testing, adjusting, and balancing industry forward. We have 6 outstanding companies joining us today to showcase solutions designed to boost performance, simplify workflows, and bring fresh technology into your day-to-day work. Each company will deliver a 15-minute demo, followed by a 5-minute Q&A, and then announce a giveaway exclusively for live attendees. So stay tuned throughout the show for your chance to win. All giveaway winners will be announced at the close of the show. If you have questions for a presenter, use the Q&A box to submit those. And if you experience any technical issues throughout, let us know in the chat and our support team will help you. This session is being recorded and it will be shared with all registrants next week. Now, let's get things started. First up today is Ameritech Data Solutions, presented by Sales Manager Russell Taylor. Russell will discuss TABopts, a project management and field data collection software built for TAB, commissioning, cleanroom, and BET firms. Russell, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Russell Taylor. I'm with Ameritech Data Solutions, and we'll be going over the TABopts reporting platform today. So I'm getting ready to share my screen. So in TABopts reporting, if you are using our other products, the TABopts project management, once a project is set up in TABopts project management, it would push that project information over and would actually set up the project in reporting for you. Here's some examples of the project numbers that come from project management. If you're not using our project management system, you simply click New Project. The 2 main items that are required to set up a new project in TABopts reporting is the project number and the project name. So for this example, I'll use today's date. And then the project name would just simply be Lee County High School. These are the 2 main items that are required that are indicated by the apostrophe. But if you have the other information while you're doing the setup, you can go ahead and set that up as well. Up under settings, we allow you to keep track of your customers, your employees. All the information can be stored here as well. So once we're setting up a project, if we have our architect, simply double click, the drop down box appears, choose who it is. It's going to be your architect. If you need to add someone, you can use the plus sign here. We'll provide the form for you to fill out the information. You designate them as architect, engineer, etc. Once they're in the system, they're available to use during the drop-down process. So simply fill out the blanks that are there. Also, as you're setting up a project, you have the ability to assign this project to a particular technician. So if this is a high-profile job or if it has extra security settings, you can simply come in here and say, I want this project assigned to this particular employee. And so you can set it up there, and that way only that employee has access to the project. Once you have the information filled out, once again, you also fill out the address, city, state, etc. Just simply hit save. The system's going to take the information that's there. It's going to create the container for that project. Over on the left-hand side, we have the dashboard. Over here, if you have your own custom forms, we would map those to the system for you. There would be a folder over here saying custom forms for your company. And once again, this TABopts reporting is built on the Excel platform. So anything you see here will be similar to an Excel sheet. To add a new form, you simply click on the item that's over here under the dashboard. So if we need an air handler sheet, whenever you do that, the system will automatically add your cover page. It will also automatically add a table of contents. We keep track of the table of contents that is generated at runtime for the report. So once again, simply click on the air handler unit. Anytime you add a form, simply click save. And the reason being is we want to commit that to the SQL server in the cloud. Changes or items that are added locally until you hit save. If you're in the office mode, that's when it's pushed to the cloud. Once again, we are a Microsoft shop, so we use the Microsoft Azure resources, SQL server that's stored in the cloud. Each firm has their own SQL server, and that is due to the requirements of particular contractors or government organizations saying you can't have your data commingled with another firm. So that's our solution to that item. In our system, where if you see the light yellow colors, those are data entry fields. Once again, this is built on the Excel platform. So you simply fill out the information here. Any of the items over here in the white, those are you cannot enter information over there. If you by chance have to have an area that is needed, you would contact our firm. We would have that item or that area remapped for you, and then you would have access to it as well. In our system, we can also do formulas. We can do formatting, anything that that Excel is capable of. We have those items as well. Under format, you can change the font, you can change the bold, italicize, reset the colors, wrapped, general, any of those items there. So as we're building our project, basically this is what we would do in-house. This is what we consider pre-engineering. So we would pre-engineer the forms here. And then once our technician is ready, once the project is ready for the technician to receive it, we would push the information up to the cloud. The tech version has a sync button here, and he's able to download the project. And once the project's downloaded to his device, he's able to open it and then enter the actual information. The tech version, the technician, he is actually able to work offline. So once he has the project downloaded, the forms are on his device. He takes his readings, he updates the forms. So if he's in a mechanical room or if he's in the basement of a building, he doesn't have good internet access. So all his information is stored locally. Once he comes out of the basement or is able to get an internet connection again, he hits his sync button up here, and then that information is actually pushed up to the cloud. Once the information goes to the cloud, the office has access to it. So as our technician is completing the items here, so if we just simply add forms in the pre-engineering stage, or the technician can actually add, if the form was missed during the pre-engineering, the technician can actually add that as well. So any of these items over here are available. Once again, as we're adding new forms, we just simply hit save to commit those items to the cloud. So as our technician is entering information, he would simply mark that the form is done once it's complete. Or if he needs attention, if there's something that's going on with this unit, say if the controls is not complete or electrical is not complete, if they need to enter a deficiency, simply click create. We provide you a form to fill out for this information. It's Air Handler Unit 1. We also provide for the comments section, we give most firms have 10 or 15 standard default comments, so we include those for you, or you enter those up here under settings. We want to edit our comments or remarks. Here's where we add those to the system. Once they're added here, everybody who has access to the system has access to these remarks. So for Air Handler Unit 1, if we're going to say AC is disconnected or not powered up, we also have the ability to include images. So if our technician is on a device that he can activate the camera, the system would take the picture, include it in as far as with the deficiency as well. So once those information is filled out, just simply hit save. You'll notice we put a red dot on the tab. That is to let you know, a visual representation, that there is a deficiency for that item. The technician also can come over here and say, I need attention. He can add a tech note to this form. So we can say no power at the time of testing. We can also insert a timestamp. Click save. If you click off of that tab and come back, you'll notice we turn this bright red. That's to let anyone know that's looking at the at this project, or if we have a different technician show up, next week or coming back for the punch list item. This helps him visually indicate that there's something wrong with this. Also, we have a filter here that a technician can say, show me what actually needs attention. So instead of showing every form in the collection, we just pull forward the forms that are actually marked as needs attention. If we want, as a management team, you would decide if you would want your technician to be able to send the deficiency directly to your customer or submit it to the office for approval, and then they could send it. So in order to generate the deficiency, we simply come over here, we select the item, move it over to this side of the form. This is the deficiency or punch list item form that would be sent to your customer. If there was a photo attached, it would be in here as well. Once again, as a management team, you would decide if your technician can email this directly, or it reports back to the office that there are deficiencies on the project itself. Up here in the ribbon, we have multiple buttons here. We can do save. Manage forms is one of our more powerful forms in the collection for TABopts reporting. Here we can actually include it in table of contents in our PRIT. If we want to apply filters to this, if we want everything associated with Air Handler Unit 1, say that's part of Phase 1, we can actually color this or mark this as red and say, then we can tell our technician, today we're working on the Phase 1 items. I only want you to work on the forms that are actually marked in red. So that kind of helps us keep the technician's attention to the items that actually need to be performed for that day. If our technician comes back and he shows up on Air Handler Unit 1 to work on the punch list, once it's finished, we simply click Edit. We can pull the punch list up. He can mark it as closed, and then we fill out the rest of the information here. They may close the, if it's an existing piece of equipment and we want to close the ticket, we can just say close and report as is. So at this point, we're going to say this has been corrected. You'll notice whenever we did that, if you click off of the form and come back, we've removed the red dot that's associated with the tab, and we've also turned this button green to let you know that the item has been resolved. Our technicians also have the ability to enter notes, so we can double click down here. These are our standard remarks. If they're, for whatever reason, we can say the fan's running backwards or whatever our note happens to be. If we include our project summary sheet, we move this to the front of the report. When we run the report, if we say include the project summaries, our system will go in and it will read all of those notes at the bottom of the form. For this one, is saying the fan's running backwards or whatever it happens to be. So whenever we run the report, the system will compile all those items and it'll actually list it on the project summary for you. So if you have multiple pages, multiple items, those would be there as well. While we're in the report section here, if this is actually a preliminary or revised, we can actually add a watermark to this. So this is going to be a preliminary report as of today's date. And I would like for the preliminary or the watermark to actually be red. I'm going to change the color to red, and I'm going to ask it to apply the watermark. And now you'll notice there's a watermark on every page for the report that we're going to submit. And from here, we can actually email this directly to our customer from here. Or if you have our project management software, we can actually export a copy of this to the project folder within project management as well. If for whatever reason this preliminary report or the final certified report is too large to email, if it exceeds 50 megabytes, we have compression software here that can automatically compress it down to an email size that can be emailed, or we can publish it directly to the SQL server, provide the link to our customer, and then they can download the report from the SQL server. You, as the manager of the report, this is you can actually set the time limits for how often they can download it, or you can give them access for 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, whatever it happens to be. Some of the other items we have up here under settings, we can set up we can actually allow you to edit your blank forms that are in there. Those are for if you would like to make changes to as long as you're not changing the file structure. If you want to change the font, the color, any of those items, as long as you're not trying to make a change to the file structure itself, those changes would have to be submitted to our support at ameritechds.com, and we would have those items mapped to your session. Also, we keep track of your equipment. So you simply, if you want to add a new one, or you simply double click an existing one. If you 3 items that are required by the apostrophe here, you have to list your manufacturer, your model, your serial number. We also give you the ability to keep track of your calibrations date, calibrations due, in-service dates. We can assign these to individual technicians, or we can assign this as a sheltered set, whatever it happens to be. We can also include the certificate for that piece of equipment. So all of those items are there. So if we include a calibration form, we tell the system to fill the instrument page for us. We select the items we're looking for. Now, these can be assigned by user. So if technician John was on this project, we could say, show me John's equipment, pull all of his equipment over. And then when we run the report, the system's going to pull all the information, all the certs for that, and it's going to apply those directly into the report. So here's our equipment, here are our calibrations and our certificates. You'll also note that our table of contents is hyperlinked. So if we click on it, it jumps us to the page for those readings. You'll also notice in my report, I have a return to table of contents so it can jump back. So multiple items there. One item I would like to tell you about is we have developed the markup system. So if we start with a mechanical print, so we have already pre-engineered this mechanical print. This is a typical hospital floor. In our system, we've already configured that a VAV box, the layer or the symbol for that is a blue rectangle. We also, for the supply diffusers, a yellow square with a red lettering, return or exhaust is green. So we have configured those in the markup settings here. We've done our categories, we set these up, and then we associated those categories with a report form. So if I'm looking for an air handler unit, those items would be checked over here for which form to use. So now the system knows if it sees this layer, if it sees this a specific item, a blue rectangle, it knows what form to use. So we come over and we ask it to generate the markup. System goes through, it reads the layers. It says, this is the layer that I see. This is the form I intend to use. It's going to be new. So if we ask the system to generate the report forms for us, the system will actually build the report. In the process of doing that, it is also hyperlinking those forms back to that layer on that drawing. So the reason that we do this is instead of having to, if we're working on VAV 1-1, is that on page 36? Is it on page 72? We simply ask our technician, highlight the area you want to work in, and we'll bring those report forms forward for you. So if we'll give this just a few seconds, this is going to generate us about 110, 120 page report. Once again, all these items are being added to the system. They're being hyperlinked back to the original mechanical drawing. If we include the mechanical drawing as part of our report when we send it to our customer or our engineer for review, he too will be able to use the mechanical print and click on those items and jump to the report pages. Once again, everything in our system, if you see this light yellow color, this creamy color, that's data entry. The greens are calculations and or formatting. So we can actually set up the tolerances, up back on the cover page, plus or minus 10 for the entire project. And each individual page can be customized. So if we're working on an air handler unit that's in the pharmacy area of the hospital, that one may be plus or minus 5. So we can actually adjust that one form and not affect everything on the overall global settings for the program.
All right, thank you so much, Russell, for that demo. Now is the time for a few minutes of Q&A. So if anybody has questions for Russell about the TABopts software, please put them in the Q&A function now, and he'll be happy to answer some of those. We also want to encourage you to enter the giveaway that Ameritech is hosting today. Russell, do you want to tell us a little bit about what the giveaway prize is that you're offering?
Absolutely. Ameritech Data Solutions is offering a $1,200 gift certificate toward new TABopts products and services. So
Excellent. So if you want to enter to win that, you can put Ameritech in the Q&A button or in the chat function, and we will record your entry. So we have a question. What is meant by markup? Is it DWG or DXF?
actually, it is it works directly off the PDF. So we generate layers on the PDF. So it is not DWG or any of those other items. It's a standard PDF.
All right. Let's see. Got a couple of entries coming in for the giveaway. We will announce the giveaway winners at the very end of the show, so be sure you're sticking around. Russell, what types of data management solutions does TABopts offer for clean room projects?
We over here in this side under our default, we do have some clean room forms, but if you have your own clean room forms that you developed over the years, we can map those items to the system, and then they would function within our platform just like they do in your Excel sheets or however it is that you present them at this point. So any custom form that you have you have developed, we would map those to the system. It would include your calculations, your formulas, your formatting, your company logos, any information that you normally have in there.
All right, and next question, can you explain a little bit more about how two technicians working simultaneously on two separate parts of the building would mesh the report together?
Sure. So we have the ability to have multiple technicians working at the same time on the same project. We in our system we have what we call a conflict resolution queue. So if by chance technician A, Scott, takes a reading on VAV 1-1 and he submits that, and then technician B or John tries to submit another reading for that same system or on that same form, the system flags that, it puts it in our conflict resolution queue, and then management would decide, do I want to accept the first reading from Scott or is the reading from John correct? So it does not, unless you tell the system to automatically overwrite over here under details, you can actually turn it on to auto commit, and then it would push those items through. First in, last in is the one that reading that's accepted. But we do have a conflict resolution queue built into the system to handle those items.
All right, and
it's here under technicians changes.
awesome. All right, and let's see. Can TABopts handle both estimating and certified report generation?
TABopts reporting does the pre-engineering and the certified report. You would come up here to do certification, certified report right here. Now, estimating is handled by our project management system. which is in front of this. So there are actually 4 parts to our platform. You have TABopts Takeoff, you have TABopts Project Management, TABopts Reporting, and then TABopts Tech Portal, where the technician logs his hours and receipts or any expenses associated with the project. And then those are come back to TABopts Project Management for cost analysis.
All right, thank you so much, Russell. We appreciate your presentation. Just a reminder, our next session will be from Blue Rhythm, but that will begin at 1:30. So let's take a few minutes to take a break, and then we will see you at 1:30.
I would like to say thank you to everybody for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Russell. All right, next up we have Blue Rhythm, which will be presented by their president and founder, Andrew Martin. Blue Rhythm is a flexible and customizable commissioning software built for complex projects. It goes beyond checklists to support technical workflows with AI tools, automated templates, and scalable features designed to match your team's unique approach. So now I'll turn it over to Andrew to tell you all about it.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to come and listen to us all talk about what we do. I'm excited to just take a couple minutes and talk about our company, Blue Rhythm, our platform, and what you could expect to see from it if you were to decide to try it out. So it says my screen share is going, so I'll jump into things and tackle the next couple slides here. So as you guys are probably finding out and already aware, there are a lot of platforms on the market for test and balance and commissioning and related work. So why is that, and why do we need all of these? And the answer is that not everybody has the exact same needs or preferences. So you might try out a couple different platforms, find that maybe you like the way the interaction works on one, but you can't quite fit your process into it or your workflows or how you want to use it. And you try another one and it does certain things well and not other things well. So, one way to kind of frame this, and there are, of course, lots of dimensions to this discussion, but to help understand kind of where Blue Rhythm lands in the market is to think about a spectrum of software tools where one end is where they're very what we would call prescriptive or opinionated, meaning they do certain things in a certain way and they might do them very well, which is a good thing. But if you need to go outside of those certain swim lanes, then you start running into challenges and problems, and maybe the tool doesn't adapt to the way you want it to work. And on the other end is a very flexible sort of framework approach to the software, meaning it could be anything from like custom software that the people have built in-house, Microsoft Access tools, some very big elaborate system with SharePoint and Excel files and things like that. So with some of those, you can do whatever you want, but there are no guardrails whatsoever. And sometimes that's a problem, and sometimes not. So again, everybody's scenario is a little bit different. There's pros and cons. Where Blue Rhythm fits on this spectrum is kind of about 2/3 of the way towards the flexible end. So it's of course a tool designed specifically for test and balance and commissioning and quality assurance workflows. Very technical process. But it's very flexible, and it can be treated as a bit of a framework where you can build your templates and kind of mold it around the way that you want to work and the way you want to run your projects. So everybody's scenario is different. You have to try these things out, understand where you're at, where you want to go to decide what's best for you. And for Blue Rhythm, one of the really unique things about it is, excuse me, that it does not just test and balance or not just commissioning, but it does both. And if you even want to run those scopes of work in the same project, you can do that right alongside each other. So you can have whole template libraries for test and balance, a whole template library for commissioning, and even different verticals and project types within those categories. And then you can map all the templates that you need from either template library into a single project and just run all of that stuff side by side. So if you're a firm that does commissioning and test and balance, there's a lot of value in being able to do that. Where, for a pump, for example, you've got all of your test and balance forms, and attached to that exact same pump, you have your commissioning forms. So that can be really valuable in certain situations. And again, that just gets to the heart of the point here that it's a very flexible platform, really designed to kind of mold around these different needs. So lots of good dashboard tools, lots of filtering, especially when you get in bigger projects. You can really slice and dice the project up into different phases, different areas, different systems. Really, however you need to look at the project and think about things. It's very adaptable to those needs. Just an example of here the different types of activities built in the project. We got some commissioning forms, we've got some tab forms, just running side by side. And the platform isn't just for forms either. It's for just general project management stuff and design phase stuff. So if you have some kind of a design review process that you need to work through, you can set that up and then track that and perform that in the software. And same for meeting minutes and really anything that you would typically be doing, tracking, performing on a project. You can build all of that into the software to be able to track it. So here's just a couple examples of some forms, just some simple screenshots. Obviously, test form, a different kind of live view of a test form here. Here's one that's running some different formulas. Another cool thing about the platform is that you can update the formulas and the forms whenever you want to, either at the template level or just on the fly if you need to make some changes. So the way it works is really any formula that you can do in Excel, you can embed in a Blue Rhythm form, and it will just execute it live. Whether you're using the web version, which is what these screenshots are from, or if you're using the app. So we have an app that works online or offline. Same thing, same capabilities exist on either the web or the app version. Just some more examples here. Another cool thing that we've been working on now for a little while. We actually released the first version of this in 2024, maybe even late 2023. We have AI tools that will actually write test procedures. So you can see a demo of this on our website, just right on the main page. If you scroll down, I don't know, a third of the way or so, you'll see this Blue Rhythm AI tools demo video. And it works where you can take a sequence of operation. So this would be geared a little bit more towards the commissioning side of things. But you can take that sequence of operation, paste it into the tool, give it some context about the project and the equipment, which is then saved with that for the next time, and then it will actually create a draft of the test form, and this works for like individual sections of a form, or you can even copy and paste like a whole 5-page sequence of operation right into the tool, and it'll split it out by its modes of operation and write the test procedures specific to that mode of operation. So with the different revisions we made to it, it's become pretty powerful, and we have customers that are starting to use this as their kind of default first pass through the project, versus doing that process manually, taking it from the sequence, manually typing it into a form. And then you can just drop that right into your project. So it's really kind of a slick way that it works. Jumping ahead a little bit, thinking about the kind of the process and what it would look like if you actually started with us. We have a very hands-on onboarding process where we can work with you and get all of your forms, your whole template library set up, um, and really just give you the keys to an operating system where you guys are ready to deploy it on projects in 1 to 3 weeks, um, with all of your own, custom forms and workflows and process and everything. So that's something that, again, we've kind of just refined over time and understanding what works best for our customers with our software and how to get them up and running as quickly as possible with very little guesswork. There's a really powerful PDF report building tool with a lot of automation built in. So, depending on how deep you go with your template setup, which is easy to do, you could be anywhere from 90 to 100% complete with your reports, just from the nature of copying the template report into the project. And then you can have everything else set up and ready to just click export. This works for commissioning reports. It works for test and balance reports. It works for progress or issue reports or whatever you're creating. You can create a template uh, re report template for it. There we go. And just click export when it's ready to go. So you can see there's a lot of automation you can do where you don't even have to, type the project name in, or the report name or the dates or who sent it. It does all of that stuff automatically. The Blue Rhythm platform in general is very connected into the construction ecosystem. So we have a lot of integrations. Um, if you guys are already on our mailing list, you may have got an email today that talks about our version 2 API. To some people, that's not relevant or something you're concerned with. To others that understand the value of having access to the data kind of at the source, it's really powerful. And as time goes on and AI advancements continue, it becomes more and more relevant. But being connected into the construction ecosystem is really valuable when your customers start, demanding that, if you want to work on this project, you have to use a tool that connects in with our other tools so that we don't have all this duplication and stuff. So those scenarios definitely exist. We have customers that are on those projects, and it drives a lot of what we do here and what we've been building. But it's really valuable when the time comes that you have the platform that has that capability. This is just a slide mentioning the new app that we released last year. So, if you tried Blue Rhythm back in 2020 or something and the mobile app experience wasn't quite, what you hoped for, we've addressed that by starting with a ground up rebuild of it, just with, newer technology and just a new approach. And it's a extremely resilient, offline capable, um, really good mobile solution. And it works on phones as well. So it actually reorients and um, works really well on a very small smartphone screen as well. So we're might have a couple extra minutes for questions here, but I kind of got through my slides a little bit quicker. There's definitely a lot more to talk about. If you have questions about how it works for test and balance or how it works for commissioning or how it works for both together, definitely reach out to us and I'd be happy to talk to any of you guys and run you through what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and see if it's a good fit.
All right, thank you so much, Andrew. Like you said, we've got a few minutes for Q&A. And if you want to take a second to talk about the giveaway that Blue Rhythm is offering today, we'll get people started for entering that.
Sure. So we are giving away an 11-inch, I believe it is, brand new iPad Air. So it's a high quality device that you can, of course, run Blue Rhythm on. You can run anything that you run on your iOS devices. So I believe the process then is to type Blue Rhythm into the Q&A section, and uh, that will enter you into the drawing for that device.
That is correct. And while you're at it, go ahead and type your questions in the Q&A function as well. If you've got any questions for Andrew, I'm sure he'd love to answer some more questions about Blue Rhythm. While we get that started, Andrew, can you talk a little bit about customizing templates within Blue Rhythm to fit specific project needs?
Yep. Yep. So within the software, there are tools to build custom forms. So you can build up these forms from scratch on your own. But like I was mentioning, one of the services that we offer when our customers are getting started is a full onboarding service where we set up a very either totally complete or very solid start for a template library. And a lot of times from that point, you're just taking something that's already been set up for a similar type of form and making a copy of it, which you can do in the software, and then making your customizations or adding a different formula or whatever the scenario is. So there's all the tools are there built into the software for everyone to use. So it's not just us that can create the custom forms or that you have to reach out to make a small change. You guys have all the same tools to set up custom forms that we do.
Awesome. All right, we've got a couple of questions coming in the Q&A. This one asks, does each user need a license or how is the cost structured for Blue Rhythm?
Yeah, we don't typically do user-based pricing. We base it more on two main factors, I guess. It's uh, how many projects are you running, and then what is the makeup of those projects. So, we have customers that do 2 hour long lab certification projects, and they have hundreds of them between a couple people. And then we have customers who are building power plants and mining processing facilities, and they have one project that's 5 years long and $5 billion. So we take into consideration what the scope of the projects are, really what the scope of the project portfolio is, and then we come up with a fee based on that. And then it's unlimited users typically.
Great. Next question, is there standard functional performance testing checklists available for HVAC equipment such as a DX unit?
Yeah, a lot of pre-functional checklists are there that you have access to, but you know, almost more relevantly these days, we have the AI tools to build the checklist and to build the test forms, so you can use those and as an aid to kind of develop your own if you don't have any right now. Um, but we do have a library of pre-functional checklists really centered on HVAC equipment that people can use and get access to when they have an account.
That's great. Yeah. Couple more questions. People have got some good questions for you. How could an owner leverage this to standardize a commissioning program? They say we're using a vendor pool of 9 different firms, but want to have a single platform.
Yeah. Yeah, we have these days a number of customers who are at the owner level. So school districts, property developers, universities, and they purchased Blue Rhythm and use that as a standard platform for managing these different scopes on their projects for that reason, just to have that consistency and have the visibility. So not only is there the consistency there with how it's implemented and tracked and stored and accessed over time, you also have visibility then into a complete data set across, not only active projects, but completed projects. You have visibility into, where problems are coming from, uh, you know, who the problems are coming from. So you can really start to understand, how things developed over time across projects, and then actually start to take proactive action to prevent those sorts of things from continuing on every project, and you're just reinventing the wheel each time.
All right. Someone asked, does the mobile app run on Android devices?
It does, yep. It runs on iOS, so iPhones, iPads. It runs on Android, tablets and phones, and it runs on Windows as well.
Excellent. And then another question, can we create/configure custom processes with custom workflow, different customers with different processes like issues, inspection, etc.?
Yep. Yep, you can. Yep, of course, want to utilize template content as much as you can. So on projects that you're doing that are very similar to other projects, you're not, again, reinventing the wheel each time. But if you have certain projects that are, that have a client that has very specific needs, and it's the first time you've encountered them, you can build out a whole set of custom workflows, custom forms, custom issues and issue types and categories and everything for them. And if it's something you expect to continue, then you can create a template of all of that stuff so you can use it again. So that's all pretty easy to do.
All right, and then we'll do one last question. Let's see, what types of projects is Blue Rhythm best suited for, do you think?
Well, just speaking about our customer base, we have a lot of customers that do commercial commissioning services. We have a lot to do the work in the industrial construction industry, to a lot of commissioning, QA, QC there, and then we have a pretty decent customer base of test and balance firms as well. And like I said, there's definitely a sweet spot where a firm does test and balance and commissioning services together, where they can just have one tool, one platform for all of it, and even run them side by side in the same project. But we also have customers that use it exclusively for test and balance as well.
All right, thank you so much, Andrew, for your presentation today. That was very informative overview of Blue Rhythm. I want to remind everyone to put your Blue Rhythm in the chat for a chance to win that iPad Air, and that we're announcing all the giveaway winners at the close of the show. So we do ask that you be on live if you're looking to win. Our next session from RetroTech will begin at 1:55, so we'll take a quick break and see you back in a couple of minutes. All right, coming back from our break, now we have RetroTech presented by Jay Edmonds and Tim Fisher. RetroTech is the world's leading manufacturer of blower doors, duct testers, and air leakage testing software, trusted globally for residential and large building performance testing. Their latest innovation, the Air Tracer Smoke Generator, brings a new level of visibility to airflow testing. Jay and Tim, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody.
RetroTech has been in manufacturing air measurement equipment since the early 80s. And we've mainly with blower door and duct testing equipment. We have a commercial duct tester as well as residential. We service the residential market, the commercial large building market, and then we also service the clean agent fire suppression market. What we'd like to introduce you to today is our Solo. It is a single channel manometer. It is inexpensive but high precision unit. It has the screen on it, the circular. It rotates on your orientation. It's got a belt clip on the back that is also magnetic. It's got two buttons, the power button and the menu button. By pressing the menu button, you can toggle through your different metrics of output, being PSF, millibars, PSI, pascals, or inches of water. If you hold the menu button, it'll take you to a screen where you can do time averaging, or you can set it to timeout and turn the screen off after a certain time. It's a compact unit. It's got easily fits in your pocket. It's very handy that way. It's cost effective in that it's only $395. To do that, we do not have any Wi-Fi capability on it or Bluetooth. It's just a bare bones manometer. You've got two ports on the bottom, your reference and input ports. The unit comes with a charging cable and two 5-foot pieces of tubing and the unit itself. There's a power brick available for it, and then you could also use it with a multi-probe or mini probe. Some of the stuff that it can be used for are, like we mentioned, residential or commercial HVAC, large building testing, zonal pressure testing, dominant duct leakage testing, where you slide the mini probe underneath the door with the HVAC system on, and you're going to measure the pressure inside the room to where you're standing. A negative pressure is going to mean that you have more supply leakage, where a positive pressure is going to signify that you've got more return leakage. You can use it for static pressure probing. It's got a 10-inch sensor in it that the accuracy is down to less than a Pascal, and it also auto zeros. It can be used for radon mitigation, testing, combustion, zone analyzing. You can use it with the blower door to just check throughout the house. It can be used with a flow box. We've got many applications for it. Basically, anywhere you would use a single channel manometer, you can use it. You can use it to balance like ERVs or HRVs as well. You can use it with a mini probe, or actually this is the multi-probe unit. And what it is it's a little holder that's got 3 magnets on it. It's a small diameter tubing that slides through a rubber grommet. And you can adjust the depth that way, or you can slide it all the way in and use it for other units like sliding under. But if you put it on if you remove a screw and you put it on the side of an air handler, it'll hold itself in there. Or on an ERV and HRV, you can remove the ports from that the manufacturer may have provided and slide it in there and it'll hold it on there. So if one that's mounted horizontally, it will hold itself to it instead of having to rely on the tube to come out. We're going to demonstrate a little bit here just by turning the power on. And so with the mini probe inserted into the unit like that, you can get by any insulation that's inside there, and your airflow is going to be perpendicular to the end of the tube, so it's going to give you more consistent readings and stuff. It can also be used for like laboratory work or clean room, just checking pressure differentials in there.
Raise it up a little bit. So it's great for spot checking too, just walking while you're doing a blower door test and using the unit to check underneath doorways and under sills.
Stop that now. Lots of fun there. You don't have to drill a hole in your cabinet. You can just remove a screw, which is what we have here, just like an 1/8-inch screw hole, and then it just plies right to it. The other tool that we're going to show today, and we are going to give away, is our air tracer. It's a new little unit that we have. It comes with in a case like this. Inside it, it's got 2 cartridges that are disposable. It's a unit, and then this hose with the windscreen on the end of it.
There's about 99 uses per cartridge, depending on how long you hold on to it. Let's get right up to the camera. You can see how it really pulls up, so it's really easy to detect.
It gives a really nice low velocity smoke that makes it easy to sit still and see where you're at. You'll notice on the face of it, it's got digital numbers that'll show you that's the percentage of the cartridge that is left. The hose just slides in and out. The cartridge is held in with magnets. You can't put it in the wrong way. It only goes in one way. For storage, long term, you can replace the plugs that come with it. Just goes back in the end. The shelf life is about a year on the cartridges that come when they're packed like this. So the unit sells for $195, and a refill pack of 3 is $35. So it's a very cost-effective way to get into the unit. If you discharge it without the windscreen, then it gives a nice plume of smoke, but it's not going to sit and settle down as much. It's got a little more velocity behind it. We've used it for finding leaks. If you, on a duct system, if you draw negative pressure on it, you can go around the seams and test the leaks by watching the smoke get sucked in, as opposed to filling a duct full of smoke and then trying to mark where the leaks are before you got too much smoke to see. Any other thoughts, Tim?
It's super handy to walk around like light cans and everything, other areas around windowsills. it's basically just so easy and instant. It's just, you just unpack it, throw that in there, push the button and go. There's no more waiting or no more clogs on it, because everything's in the cartridge itself, and you can get replacements very simply in the 2-pack for it. So very cool tool to use. Charges with USB-C on the bottom of the, just on the side of your computer. And yeah, you get a ton of uses out of it for each cartridge. So
Each cartridge is about 15 minutes of use.
if you just held it on
constantly
completely
use,
the
so
whole
discharge.
time.
Some of the other things that we have, I guess, would be our commercial duct tester. I don't know how familiar people are with that, but this is our commercial duct tester. It will do up to 30 inches of water column. It has about 30 or 300 CFM in round numbers of flow. It doesn't change a whole lot when you go from 1 inch up to 30 inches. It holds its pressures all the way through. It's only 35 pounds, which is the biggest advantage of it over other items in the industry that are similar. It can measure down to 0.29 CFM with some additional orifice plates. With the stuff that comes stock with it, I believe it's down to about 2.9 CFM, so just under 3 CFM. The orifice plates are very easy to change out. They just snap in and snap out, and it comes with 5 different ones to get you there.
And about the depressure.
This is so you can depressurize the duct system. Like I said, if you pull negative pressure on a duct, then you can check for leaks that way with the smoke. It connects on the inlet of the fan, and then the flex duct will connect to the collar and be able to depressurize for you. If you need more flow, you can hook multiple units up in parallel, and that will give you the opportunity to test larger systems. Recently talked with a customer that was testing a very large air handler, and they had 10 units hooked up to it in parallel. And so that would give them about 3,000 CFM of flow. Other ones have used, 2 or 3, but putting them in series, one blowing into the next, does not help you. You need to hook them up in parallel. It's been a very popular unit. Helped us get more into the HVAC unit or HVAC market. As like I said, we started out more in the residential, and then the commercial large building envelope testing.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Well, our big tents in the back.
Yeah, in the background, you'll notice we've got some test tents. That's just for a class that we're offering for large building testing. So we do offer some training as well. Our systems do come with training, whether you're doing residential, commercial duct testing, or blower door testing, residential blower door testing. There's training included with those systems. We do offer a large building training, which is specialized to doing building envelope on commercial settings, using multiple fans together. And we have that both in a online version, and then we do live training twice a year. Next week we'll be doing one here. So that's where we're at with that. We have some other fans coming. We've got the 7,000 fan, is a large commercial fan. It is just a lightweight. It's a 25-pound fan, which most of these are around 35, somewhere in that range. And it has almost 7,000 CFM on the wall. It can go well over 8 on the battery option that will be coming out hopefully before the end of the year. So we are constantly working to make improvements to make things easier for our end users. That's kind of how we've always set up our business model, is to make things easier when we find them, look for better ways of doing things constantly, offer good support, good training, and try to come up with new tools that the industry can use.
That large building class, there's still positions available for it, and it's the 15th through the 17th.
Yep.
For commercial, in-house commercial large building training.
The multi-probe kit is made up of two mini probes, which comes with a piece of clear tubing and then stainless steel tube in the connection. So those are available as a mini probe kit. The mini probe is $10. The multi-probe kit is 2 with the holders. That's $40 for those. The DM32X is our workhorse manometer. It is a 2-channel manometer. It's got 2 ports, 2 sets, the green, the yellow, the red and the blue. The red and the blue will be used to measure your static pressure. The green and the yellow are used to measure the pressure across the fan. By measuring across the fan pressure, then the DM32 will calculate out what the flow is based on the fan configuration. It's built on an Android platform. It's very user-friendly. It's got some graphing capabilities right on board. So you, oh, I hit the button.
There you go.
Graphing capability, so you can do some data logging and stuff as well.
Put that right by the camera. There you go.
It's got,
A little blurry.
see if I can get to the manuals. Manuals and guides are on board. I don't know if that'll show up very well or not. But all your manuals and guides and some instructional videos are available right on the gauge itself. So
There we go. It's tough to read on the gauge from there, but
yeah. If you go to video, for instance, Team 32. It's a video. It's basically the manual broken up into sections so that you don't have to go through the whole thing. As I said, it's based on the Android platform, so it's very user-friendly that way. You just touch what you want to change. You come in here, like if we go back to
middle button. There you go, and then go to.
That's the wrong one. There we go.
It also has our cloud built right into the gauge, so if it's connected to the internet, you could send your tests directly from the gauge.
If you want to change your from water column to pascals, you press it. You can do it on either channel. Your favorites are at the top, so we're back to pascals on this one. If you need to change your configuration, you touch the icon of the fan. Oh, where's it at? And you can select your new range configuration. It also tells you kind of what the range is on that. You set your speed. That's the fan speed, so you can go 25%, and that's going to take the fan to 25% and just hold it there. As opposed to set pressure, you would be seeking a target pressure. And it's going to seek that, and so as things change, then it will constantly seek the 50 pascals or whatever you have it selected to.
All right, Jay and Tim, thank you so much for demoing some of your products for us. That was great. We have a couple questions coming into the Q&A, so I want to make sure to give you guys a few minutes to answer those.
Sure.
The chat to be entered to win there. One question about the smoke generator. Someone asked, is there any residue left over from the smoke?
Very minimal at best. It is a glycol-based solution. Easily wiped off if there is, but it's pretty clean for the most part. We haven't noticed any real residue when we put it on the disc, on the card, or on the cloth there and stuff. There was nothing afterwards. If there was a whole lot of smoke, you might have a little bit of moisture and then a light residue on it.
All right, another question. Someone asked if it's only, I think the first device, if it's only a static pressure taker, or can you read in FPM?
No, it's only static pressure.
All right. Someone else asked, does RetroTech provide any Bluetooth-enabled devices? And if so, do you have documentation for Bluetooth so third-party apps can interact with them?
The DM32X is Bluetooth capable. I would refer you to our dev team in that to make sure that the apps that you want to use with it would be suitable for it. But we can definitely get you that information and work with you on that.
All right, awesome. Just a reminder, everybody, if you've got any more questions, we've got time for maybe one more. So put those in the Q&A. We've got a lot of good entries for the giveaway coming in. See if I have any. Got some sample questions.
If you do come up with a question afterwards, feel free to email me directly at jay@retrotech.com.
Awesome. This person asked, what is the operating range of pressure and accuracy and calibration period?
The operation is from basically 0 to 10 inches of water column. That's on the Solo. The calibration period is 5 years, unless the standard that you're holding to requires something more stringent. The accuracy is like 0.7% or 1 Pascal, whichever is less. And I believe those were the 3 questions he asked.
I believe so. And I think that was the last question in the Q&A. Thank you so much, Jay and Tim, for that presentation. Everyone, we're going to take another quick break. Proof CX tab will be coming up next, so be sure to enter to win the giveaway, and we will see you again in a few minutes. All right, next up we have Proof CX tab presented by Jawad Jabber. Proof CX tab is a leading software solution for HVAC testing, adjusting and balancing, and building system commissioning. Built for performance and efficiency, it features an intuitive interface and supports easy integration of tab forms and test management, all while aligning with international standards. Jawad, take it away. Jawad, you're muted.
Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is Jawad from Proof CX Tab team. Thank you, ABC. Thank you, Cassie. Proof CX Tab is a software for testing, adjusting, and balancing companies, as well as commissioning firms. It can handle both of these aspects of any project directly from one software. So what can Proof CX Tab provide? Testing, adjusting, balancing. This is one scope. A project documentation, commissioning verification, and project issue logs using your mobile app. So the key features of the software is built-in tab forms according to international standards. So all your forms will be available, ready to go with the software. Flexibility to customize the content, the form content. That means you can adjust the coloring, the logos, header and footer, fonts, as we said. All of these are customizable. In addition, also, one click to generate high-quality final tab report and CX reports, which includes the cover page, a table of content, subsection cover, list of instruments, certification sheets, compliance with international standards. These are examples of how the output of the software will be. Customize the report to meet your brand. So suppose your brand has orange or blue and that kind of coloring. So the software can meet that branding and have a unique tab report for your company. Also, we can track the progress through dashboard or on PDF format, automatic calculation of completion percentage of each unit or a group of units. Also, it includes multi-user synchronization and role management. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 people can work on your project at the same time. Insert equipment list through Excel, upload and import. So you will fill Excel with all your tests and equipment, and you import them one time. It will structure or scaffold the project for you. Customizable checklists. So checklists are very customizable, easy to enter, and with coloring. Ability to use Excel and Word forms natively inside the software. So you can, if the form is not available in the software, you can use the Excel and you can use the Word files, and you can import them directly in the software. Built-in AHU sketches and drawings available. The software is desktop first. It's available in Microsoft Store. It has a mobile version that is a mirror of the desktop, and this is native mobile application available in Android and in Apple App Store. And the web version of the software is specifically designed to share the progress with your clients. So let's go now to the one sample of the reports. I will show you how the output of the software will look like. This is, as you can see here, a complete report that is extracted from the software. So here we have the cover page. We have the table of content with hyperlinks directly to any section of the report. This is the title page as per AABC, and all of these data will be filled automatically to you. This is abbreviation list, fan coil section. So you can see now each section has a cover page. You can add it or you don't want to, and each subsection also has a separate page. Also, this is by design. This is an example of the fan coil unit report. Very high quality, very high definition report. All of these are programmatically calculated, the total, the AK, velocity, whatever, all of these I will show you now in the software how it will be calculated. Let's look at the fan section. This is the fan section. This is the fan data. And this is the ducted traverse if you have. The drawing of the ducted traverse will be generated automatically based on the dimensions you enter in the software. Let's look at the air handling report. So this is central station. Also, all of these can be added, removed as per project. I'll show you this later. Here you can see the static profile. You can add the points 1, 2, 3, 4 directly in the software. Also, this is the outlet, air distribution outlet. So the software can generate all of these at once, and if it has more than one page, it will split the pages for you. No need just to do it manually. If there is some merges or for several outlets, it can merge all of them as a one value and calculate the percentage of it. So let's look at for example, the DRVs. This is an example of the DRV report with all the data, all the summation. And if you have remarks, you can add the remark. Let's look at the noise criteria. Noise criteria here. It has built-in calculation engine for the room criteria and noise criteria. This is room criteria, and the values here for neutral, rumble, hiss, tone, vibration, all will be automatically calculated for you based on these entered values, and this also will be automatically generated. So this is for room criteria. This is for noise criteria. This is auto-generated also from the software, and the data and overall will be automatically given for you. Vibration test. This picture you can add 1, 2, 3, 4 directly from the software and enter your data. Instrument lists can be added. Certification, calibration certification. You can attach any PDF, Word, Excel file to the software and combine it, all of them, with the page number attached to it. So these are example of the certifications. You can add all of them right away. So let's go now to the software itself, and I will explain to you how this software is, how this report is generated. Now, I hope you can see the screen now. So this is an example of the same project, multi-purpose demo. In this section, you can see all the equipment of the project. And this equipment can easily be imported through Excel function. And or if you want to design one equipment, click on it, and we have a rich feature to manipulate, duplicate, edit, whatever. You can do this for all of them. So suppose I want to duplicate this to one item, 2 items, 5 items, 10 items, 100 items. I can do using this function. I can do multi-selection and do the same editing for all of them. So it's a flexible this a flexible table. You can do many things in one command. And once you select any unit from here, you can see the details of the equipment here. So the details, which includes, for example, for the fan coil main data, which is fan motor data and fan data, air distribution outlet, air distribution inlet, and the report. So everything you do here and here, you can see the report of it just in one reload. You can reload the unit. You can see all the details here for the fan coil unit. You can do also marked reload, which suppose I want to add not final to it, I can add it. You can add a stamp, and you can also show don't show the page number. If I want the report without any page number, I can reload without the page number. Now let's focus on before we focus on the AHU. I will show you now the sections of this software. There is a CX documentation here with all the features for the documentation, and you can also construct the project as you want from here and here. There is project verification here, which includes Excel and Word files for all of the equipment. It's easy to enter, easy to load, easy to import. Sorry. Okay, and here is the section of the fan coil unit. Issue logs. The issue log here, you can attach a picture from mobile or from desktop and see the report from here. Now let's go back to the test tab form. I will show you an example of the AHU. So as we said now, this is the project, and this is the details of the project. For AHU, we have central station, duct traverse supply, and air distribution outlet, static profile with all the numbering, pre-tab checklist with the coloring. And once I reload, I can see the report with the checklist. All of these items in the checklist are customizable. I can remove not ready, I can change not applicable as I want. This is the central station. This is duct traverse. This is the static profile. Also the header and footer also customizable. I can add, for example, 3 logos, 2 logos, 1 logo, whatever. The footer also customizable. And also the sections here are customizable. For example, I can go to more. And for example, I want to add the inlets. Just I will check this checkbox. Go here and I can see the inlet added to the sections. I can go back, remove the inlet, and the software now does not have an inlet. One more feature is available is if you want to change all the units in one click, you can change. For example, this is liter per second, as you can see here. Once I change here to CFM, all of the report are converted to CFM. I can change this also to fit per minute. All of this will be changed to fit per minute. Also the duct traverse, you can see now it is CFM. I can go back, for example, to liter per second, and it's going back to liter per second in all, even in the central station. Everything will be converted in one click. Okay, let's now dig into the air distribution. As you can see here, here is the air distribution outlet. I can add one new outlet, and I will call this supply diffuser. And suppose it has 200 by 200, and I will put here, for example, 478. It calculated to me AK automatically. And if I put the design airflow, for example, 75, it will calculate the design velocity based on this dimension. So now I am okay as a software on the desktop. I just will save this here, and I will go to the mobile version here. I can see now my project is available. I will click on it from here. I will go, I see this unit is available for me, and all of the data are available, and I have an update because I saved it just now. I will click load. It will now load the unit again to me, and I will close it here and go to the unit again. Now everything you see in the desktop is available as a counterpart here in the mobile. For example, you can sync, you can add issue log, you can save locally, you can add more. That means you need to add outlet or inlet on the project on the site. You can add pre-tab checklist, VAVs, sound, whatever. All of them will be just with one checkbox. You can see them available in your mobile. And you can see here also the central station values are available. 100% means that the data inside this section is completed. And completed means designed and actual, everything is filled. And you can see here, everything is filled except for the outlet. Why? Because we added one outlet here without the actual value. So one outlet here is not available. I will go to the outlet, and I can now scroll down, and I can see now many functions here available. I can add in the mobile from here, and I can add remarks, I can close, I can save locally. I can export this to Excel and send it by email or WhatsApp to my friends or my team. Clear actual measurements. Suppose you have many iterations on the project, then you can go to any one of them. And suppose now I want to go to the last one. So I will click here, go to that outlet. I will click, for example, to 20. I will go to 20. Sorry, I duplicate. I must go to go, and I will go to 20 now. See now the data which I filled at that time is available here. Sorry. Yeah, this is the one, 23. Suppose I want to fill the actual velocity, which is here, actual velocity. So suppose it's 2.5. It's calculated to me at site the percentage that is available. Okay, I am now okay with this one. I will save. I will save, close, and close this also, save locally again, and I will sync. Once I sync, it will come to the desktop again. So now see now, sync with the cloud, and the data will be saved in the cloud and will come again to the desktop. You can see now it's loading, it's coming here, and I can see now for air distribution outlet, the data that I have entered is available. Sorry, here. Oh, so time is out.
Thank you so much, Jawad. That was a great demonstration. If you want to talk a little bit about the giveaway that you're offering to give people an opportunity to enter for that, and then if anybody has any questions about ProofCX Tab, please put those in the Q&A function at this time.
Okay, now the giveaway is 6 months subscription. For you, for anyone who will win 6 months subscription, that means he can use the software freely without any charges.
All right, thank you so much. So if you're interested in that giveaway, please put Proof CX tab in the Q&A and add in your questions as well if you've got any, and we will announce all the giveaway winners at the end. While we wait on to see if any other questions are going to come in, is there a feature in your software to duplicate tests or use tests from another project?
Yeah. Yes, there is a feature that you can, for example, construct a project or a CX tree or some forms for the checklist. All of them, you will do it once, and at any point, your team can import them either offline or online. Online means directly from the software, and offline means it's a file. You will save it somewhere in your directory and just import it in the once you need it. And you can share these files through emails, through files. You can compress them. You treat them as normal Windows files.
All right, great. Can the software add new tab forms easily from like Excel or Word or anything like that?
Yeah, right. All of these are available. We support Excel file natively. That means you can work on the Excel file from the software itself and from without the software. That means from the software itself, you can create the Excel file or import it from from your files. It will become in the software. Either you modify that Excel file internally or externally, it will reflect in the complete report. So it is very flexible. The one who wants to work in the software, inside the software, he can do. The one who want to work outside the software with the same Excel features, with the full Excel feature, he can do that, save his work, and go back to the software, reload. Everything will be reloaded to him as per his work.
All right, we have one more question. It says, I see the application is focused on tab forms. Is there any opportunity to include the commissioning management forms?
Yeah. Commissioning forms right now is not available. Only the issue logs and tab forms, because our software is has a programmed rules. Now in CX, there is no programmed rules to the full extent, but the desktop, he can use the desktop right away to update his Excels, his report, everything inside the desktop application.
All right, thank you so much for that presentation. Just want to remind everyone to enter the giveaway, and we will have another couple of minutes break before Evergreen Telemetry joins us at 2:45. So we'll see you all back here then.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cassie. Thank you, Rod.
Thank you, Jawad. All right, welcome back, everybody. Now we've got Evergreen Telemetry, presented by CEO Pete Secor and Tony Ingris, the Director of Sales. Evergreen Telemetry is dedicated to doubling technician productivity in tab, HVAC, commissioning, and automation. Their wireless tools eliminate wires and tubes, making every job faster, easier, and safer in the most demanding environments. Tony and Pete, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to AABC, excuse me, for hosting. We appreciate it. I'm Tony, I'm with Evergreen. I am going to let Pete, he's going to talk today about some of the latest products that we have for making your job faster, easier, and safer. And then once we cover all of our new products, we'll let you know what prizes we have to give away today. I'll let Pete take it away from here.
I'm proud of our products. The Risk Reporter saves you many steps. And we have capture hoods, lightweight capture hoods that hold themselves against the ceiling with a magnet. So what are we going to do next? How can we save you more time? How can we make your job faster and easier? So my engineers and I are taking a look at velocity. I'd like to talk about two different kinds of velocity. One is face velocity. So how can we improve and save you time with face velocity. This is a traditional face velocity grid. One drawback is the way that the standoffs work. So standoffs, if you want to change the standoffs, you have to unscrew the standoff and hopefully not lose it. Find the other one that's a little bit longer and screw it in. And do that 4 times, and then you're ready to go on to the next task. So what we've come up with is a new type of face velocity grid, a new type of standoff. First of all, it's color coded. Every inch is marked with a different color, and within every inch, there are 1/4 inch gradations here that are caught by a little mechanism. So the standoff never comes off the face velocity grid. And if I want to make an adjustment, I will push it in and you'll hear a click as it moves each 1/4 inch as it moves to the next setting. So that's a huge improvement in time and effort, and I think you're going to like it a lot. Also, you may not be able to tell it through the video, but it's far more rugged than the traditionals. And we've got this really cool articulating handle that allows you to get into difficult spaces. So think about that face velocity grid. Tony can set you up with a free field trial and give it a try. Let me set this over here. So what about duct velocity? Let's talk about duct velocity. I have 3 different ways of looking at duct velocity and trying to make your job faster and easier. One is what I call the guide lock. It's got 2 purposes. One is so that when you're doing a traverse, you'll be properly oriented and the tip won't be wavering around. But the other is, imagine that you are going to make a change to a fan or a damper in order to affect a change in the CFM. What you can do is set this up like this. I'll hold the duct up a little closer so you can see. Basically, set the probe up to get a center line of velocity. Now, the result is going to come to your wrist on the wrist reporter. Now, when you go over to the damper or the fan and you're going to make a change, let's say you want to reduce the CFM by 20%. What you can do as a reference is check out the velocity of the center line. And when that goes down by 20%, you're achieving roughly a 20% reduction in CFM. So you're just saving the back and forth. Now let's consider another way of saving time and effort is the probe itself. You know, it was invented a long time ago, but it still kind of looks to me like it's designed for use in a laboratory where you're going to, put it in a vise or a fixture and you're just going to leave it there. It's not really designed to be held by a human hand. And so let's give it a handle. Let's give it a handle and make it more like a bicycle grip or a fishing pole, and just make it really easy for a human hand to control the rod, to control the tip, and put it where it needs to be. So this is our version of the airfoil velocity grid. These are available now. Let me set these over here.
Do you want to speak, Pete, to the notches in the airfoil?
Thank you. Tony reminded me to point out that first of all, the inch marks are very easy to see, and they're notched so that as you are doing a traverse, you get a little tactile feedback from the edge of the duct interacting with the notch. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you're ready for this one. This is a motorized machine that will automatically perform a duct traverse. And what you do is you attach it to the side of the duct, these magnets. I'll hold this up to the camera so you can see. So we've got a motor out here. It's gripping the shaft, and it knows where the shaft is. And it's wirelessly communicating with the controller on a tablet computer. This is a simulation. And before you get to this stage, basically you do the setup and you tell the machine the size and shape of the duct and whether you want to use equal area or log Chebyshev. And then you hit start and the machine will perform the traverse for you. And this is one of the many views that you can select to see the progress. If you look at that kind of that diagonal, you'll see the green information coming in from a new reading. And the result in terms of average velocity and CFM will be shown. So that, if you ask me, that's a revolutionary change. So the technician, basically that's doing the work. He can be off drilling another hole or getting ready to do a different duct system or writing a report or something like that while the machine performs that traverse. I think the repeatability is going to be far better. You'll get more consistent readings, and of course you have the time savings. So those are some of the things that we're working on here. And thank you for your time. I look forward to your interest, and contact customer service if you would like to do a free field trial with these products. Thank you.
Hang on, Pete. Do you want to talk about Bluetooth? Where's Bluetooth?
Shoot, I'm always forgetting about Bluetooth. We have Bluetooth working actually. This application I just showed you is working via Bluetooth. We have Bluetooth working on the phone, but we want to perfect it. We're working with Building Start and Ameritech so that when we introduce this, those applications are going to be optimized. So it won't be long now. Thanks for your patience. Bluetooth from Evergreen Telemetry is almost here, and it's going to have that wow factor.
Yay! Tony? Thanks so much. Okay, guys, before we go into Q&A, I wanted to show you what we're giving away today. Today we're giving away, you're going to get a KTAB 7, which includes a wrist reporter, PVF module, thumb switch, charging capabilities, all of that in a nice hardcover case. You're also going to get one of our airfoils, our new Evergreen Telemetry airfoil, and a guide lock for your airfoil as well. So the lucky winner, please type Evergreen into the chat to be entered into the drawing, and you do have to be present to win. This is a little over about $3,500, a $3,500 value. So this is a great price. Or I'm sorry, great prize.
All right, thank you so much, Pete and Tony, for that demo and talking about some of your products. I want to remind everybody, while you're entering Evergreen in the chat, send your questions as well for Pete and Tony. I'm sure they'd love to answer some questions about what Evergreen has going on. We have one question already asking, are magnets the only means for attachment of equipment to the ducts?
So magnets are used quite a bit because most of the ducts are ferrous metal, and the magnet can attach. It would be possible, however, to use either tape or sort of the type of strap that's used with the wrist reporter to wrap it around and hold something against the duct. I guess it would depend kind of on what the user is thinking about from the standpoint of what type of application, but we do use magnets quite a bit.
All right, thank you. This next question says, is there an option for correction factor and back pressure?
Yes, on our capture hoods especially, we offer a back pressure adjusted reading figure. And so that is available, yes. I might mention that back pressure is a complicated subject. And we might want to go into that in more detail on a future meeting.
All right, the next question says, do you offer linear attachments for lightweight flow hoods? If so, what sizes and are they magnetic?
Yes, the the frames are all available with magnets, and we carry all of the standard sizes from, your 1x4, 2x4, 1x5. We also offer a 6-inch by 4-foot. If you're talking low flow, that would be more towards the 3-pounder, which it has a CFM range of 30 to 3,000. But if you're looking for lower than that, the 8-inch is 15 to 150, and that would get a little bit more custom. We do offer a 2x2, but it would be application dependent for other sizes.
And this is a good time to mention that we offer custom sizes. We need about 2 weeks to create the necessary frame and skirt, but we often do custom sizes. And our largest skirt so far, we do quite a few 4 feet by 4 feet for Intel for wafer fab applications. And I remember one time we did a 3 foot by 5 foot capture hood skirt frame combination. So we're very interested in doing the custom size if you have a unique application.
All right. And does Evergreen offer field trials or demos for companies that might be interested in testing your equipment?
Yes, we offer free field trial on all of our equipment. So it's a 2-week free trial. Give us a call, let us know what you're interested in. We'll ship out the equipment to you, let you try it in the field. We also offer demos or training. All of our training is free, whether it's via Zoom or a phone call or in person. We can come out and do some training or train the trainer with you. But the free field trial we do offer to everyone, and I highly recommend it to anybody that's interested in the equipment.
Yeah, that sounds like a great way to get a sense of what you're offering. This next person asks, do you have a hydronic manometer for water balancing?
Yes, we do, and it works in conjunction with the same wrist reporter that's used for the airside applications.
All right. We have a couple more minutes, so if anybody has any more questions for Tony and Pete, put those in the Q&A, and we'll be happy to answer them. And just a reminder to everybody as you're entering the giveaway that we will announce that at the end of the whole show today after our final presenter. So stay tuned and we will get to some of these prizes. All right, one last question. This one says, is there a requirement for hood calibration or only wrist reporter?
The wrist reporter actually doesn't require recalibration. It's just the receiver. What needs calibration is the actual the reading module. So the PVF module we recommend every 2 years. Same with air temperature. If it's humidity or with the water, we do recommend annual calibration because those sensors do have a tendency to drift. But the capture hood itself doesn't perform a reading, so the hood does not need to be sent in for calibration, only the module.
Then we had another question come in about Bluetooth and how testing Bluetooth works. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
So for 15 years now, our products have used a technology called Zigbee, a mesh networking technology. Bluetooth is a little bit newer. So we're in the process of converting our modules over to the Bluetooth technology in order that it can work more easily with cell phones, smartphones, tablet computers, and things like that. So we'll be offering both. And the coming of the Bluetooth offering from Evergreen Telemetry will not obsolete any of the products that the customers are currently using.
All right, thank you. A couple more questions coming in. This one says, do you have vane anemometer which can save velocity readings and show average?
No, we don't have a vein anemometer at the present time. I'm looking into either developing a vein anemometer for evergreen telemetry to manufacture, or to accomplish the same type of reading in a different way with a different technology that might offer superior features. So I am looking at that, but we don't have one at the present time.
All right, thank you. Next up, this one says, when measuring airflow and pressure at the same time with the wrist reporter, why would the airflow be displayed in uncorrected format?
So I'm trying to think back to that particular application. It might be for VAV type applications. And if that's a desirable quality, I can take another look at that. I honestly can't picture right now the display format for that, but I'll make a note. And if the interested party wants to give me an email at pete.secor@evergreentelemetry.com, I'll see what I can come up with.
When I think too, he might be asking just why are we showing corrected and uncorrected with a hood reading? So I don't know if that's more what he's looking for.
There is an applicability where you want pressure, differential pressure at the same time you're reading a flow. So that's where I thought the question was going.
I'm learning with you guys.
All right, one last question. What drift occurs that requires recalibration?
Okay, the easiest, most obvious example is the humidity sensor. We use a humidity sensor that's based on a capacitance between two plates. Obviously, these are small plates that are close together. In between the plates is a polymer. The polymer has holes in it into which the water vapor molecules migrate, and they change the capacitance. But what can happen over time is that contamination goes into the holes in the polymer and causes a change in the set point. So we have to be careful about that. Though that contamination can come from carpeting, paint, foam, rubber, things like that can off gas and create particles that affect that capacitive sensor. In fact, when those sensors are sent in for repair, we don't actually tweak it to accomplish a new reading or a new calibration. We actually pull the old used sensor out and throw it away, and we put a brand new one in that's factory fresh. And then we do our NIST traceable calibration to that and send it back out. So that's an example of the type of drift that can occur in a particular type of sensor. But as Tony mentioned, modern day sensors for temperature and pressure don't drift. So basically, if they haven't been damaged, they're going to read correctly.
All right, thank you so much, Pete and Tony, for being here today and answering those questions. If attendees have additional questions, I encourage you to reach out to any of our presenters from today. And we are going to take another short break and get to our final presenter, CX Planner, at 3:10. So we will see you all back in a couple of minutes. All right, welcome back, everybody. Next up, we have CX Planner, presented by Thomas Yarlow. CX Planner is the fastest commissioning software ever built, trusted by commissioning teams around the world. With tools like floor plan modules, Gantt charts, and real-time tracking, CX Planner helps professionals fly through tests, eliminate manual paperwork, and streamline progress from start to finish. Thomas, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Cassie. Thank you for that introduction. So, hi everyone, I'm Thomas, founder of CX Planner. Let me do some screen sharing here. So let's see. And there we go. So For today here, I got a couple of slides, just like to set the scene for what we're going to look at. And then we're going to do a practical demo of CX Planner. The CX Planner is the fastest commissioning software ever built, and we will be creating a project, adding some air handling units, doing some checklists, see some punch list items, all of that stuff for the next 15 minutes here. So hang on. But first, so I'm Thomas, the founder of the platform here. I'm certified QCXP, CXM, and CXA, and I've been working within the commissioning industry for the past 15 years. That's been in various positions, design engineering teams, as a freelancer, and the owner's representative. Then I'm also a board member with the Danish community and an organization for commissioning. And I'm also the author to the book on commissioning, a practical guide to the commissioning process. So a lot of my life has been within the commissioning aspect, and it has also been filled with lots of Excel files. That is what CX Planner replaces for you. The next 3 slides that I have, that is what I call like the fundamentals for our platform. The first one here, that is what we call scales to the project or scales to the process. So as you can see here, we've got 4 different phases. The phases here only illustrates that you can work in phases if you like to do that. The concept for this slide here is that you can work with modules. So if you have, let's say, a single air handling unit and you're only going to do a single FPT on that one, then just enable the end of the execution and the start of the handover phase. The platform scales to that. But if you have a larger project, we need to do the timeline, then enable the timeline. If you also need to submit the documentation and request the documentation from subcontractors, enable the files module, do the annotation, markups inside the system, all of that. So you can scale up and down depending exactly on what your needs are. The second fundamental we have, that is our template center. So all of your workflows, test scripts, tab reports, all of that is saved in one place and we updated from that single place and pushed out to the projects that you're working at. And of course, if you are in the need for any checklist or tab sheets, then we got your back. We have lots of already predefined inside our platform. And we also have our own pre-trained AI that can generate them for you. That also goes all the way. So if you have an SOO, just copy paste that in. We're going to generate the test script for you automatically. And then the last one. So this is the last fundamental here that we're going to look at. It's also my favorite one, and it's the practical design. The CX Planner works across all devices. So that's like mobile, tablet, laptop, Android, iPhone, and online and offline. I think the core part for this slide here, that is the screenshot that you see on the right side. Because let's say that you're going to manage the process. You're going to have like all the buttons and the options inside the platform. But when you invite a subcontractor in, or one of your guys to only do like one single checklist or one single tab report, then we adapt the user interface exactly for them. So a dynamically adapting user interface. So you only see what you need to see. So if you don't need to see like all the analytics, all the buttons, you only see the single checklist or the single tab report that you need to work at. So that's the 3 core fundamentals. And with that, we will go into a practical demo. The practical demo here. So you see our open CX Planner here. We're going to log in together. Then we're going to create a project and work a little bit inside the platform here. So clicking login, I'm arriving directly in at my landing page. So this is my main page in CX Planner. Customize this as you like, put in all the graphics and all of that stuff. Main navigation done in the sidebar on the left. So over here, we're going to dive into the projects, and then we're going to hit up a new project. So that new project here, we're going to give it a name like that. Then we can set all of these like different options here. So these are pretty cool. That's for some of the visual stuff. Continue. Then CX Planner has some predefined projects for you that can kick off the project pretty fast for you. Construction, data center, oil and gas, mechanical manufacturers, all of that stuff. We're just going to go like with blank canvas, nothing in it. So we're going to select the other project type. Then we've got some different modules. It comes a little back to the slide with the scales to the project. For this demo here, we're just going to roll with a commissioning module, some analytics, and some punch list management. If we ever need like the QA, the QC module, we can always come back later on and enable that. Then the last little setting here, that is for the custom fields. So we can like have a priority field here and a discipline field, whatever. Do whatever you like with these. Change the name if you need to, add extra fields and so on. Full flexibility in that regards. And with those words, we have a new project here. And as you see, we're now in, we have a project ID in the name, and we have the project dashboard. Nothing here yet because we haven't added any data. Main navigation still done on the sidebar on the left. So over here, we have the task and checklist assigned to you. So that's your personal assignment, pretty handy on mobile and tablet devices. Then we got the analytics, bells and whistles, reporting, all of that stuff. Punches management, files, and then the commissioning block. For today here, we'll be diving into the system and test view. So it is what it is. It is system, structure, and then the corresponding tests. When I'm saying test here, it is everything that resolves like verification or on-site inspection. So that is PFCs, FPTs, ISTs, your tab, whatever. All of that is included in this one view here. We can build up in multiple ways. I'm going to show 2 quick ways. The first one here, that's going to be some building A. And then below building A here, we're going to add a group of air handling units. And then for the air handling units here, we're going to go 001. So what I'm doing here, I'm actually building a system structure and then the corresponding equipments below it. So what we have here, a building, a group or discipline, and then we've got the equipment. If you rather go like building A, system 1, subsystem 2, and then the equipment, go for that. All of the columns on the right side here, it's like click and select. If you need more columns, just add them. But imagine that you need loads of data, loads of air handling units in. Then you're just going to export this overview to an Excel file. So like I'm doing here. And let's see, I'll zoom a little in. So on my right side, you see the spreadsheet, and that is exactly what we actually have in CX Planner. The ID, that's our database reference. That's sub, that's the indentation level, so the folders. And then we got the asset in column number 3 or column C here. The concept that we're running with is that we can update data directly from the spreadsheet like that. But we can also add additional items. So just copy paste them in from your asset and equipment list like that. If you want to have a new group, that could be fan call units. We can just add them like this inside this spreadsheet here and save it. So the concept here is that we know, even though that you're gonna go with CX Planner, you might still receive the documentation and the asset and equipment list in Excel from the design team or from the project. So this just enables you to get that data quickly into our platform. But saving this one back to the platform, bulk import, and then I'm just going to find the file here on my local device, and there we go, and uploading it. So now you should see here that we have the building A, the air handling units, we have the updated name on this one here, and the additional ones added, and the same goes for the fan call units. So this here shows how we can quickly add lots of data. Then for the next part here, I'm going to open air handling unit 01. Now we're opening this specific equipment. Within that one, we can attach whatever tab sheet we have, whatever checklist that we have. Or if you have a drawing, you can mark the location for this asset on that drawing. So all of that is included here. Well, I'm going to import a template. I'm going to import this demo template here just for showing how it could work. This is a more traditional checklist, so no like inputting data of inlet and outlet temperature and pressure and that kind of stuff. This template here goes with a heading called General Test, and then 5 line items, another heading, and 3 line items. The top item here, she has the little icon here. That's because it's a requirement. So for this one here, we have a requirement for a photo. That means when the user clicks pass or fail, they must upload a photo directly to proceed. Let me show that. We can actually do this on a mobile device. I'm going to change the interface here to a mobile interface. And that looks more or less like this, actually. So you have the structure at the top here. Switch quickly between the different checklists when you are on site. Online, offline, doesn't matter. Then you're going down to the line items here. first one requires a photo. Clicking pass on that one will open the camera, allow you to take a photo. You can do markups on that photo directly on the device that you're using, upload it. Now that photo and that documentation is automatically injected into this line item here, will also be used in the report afterwards. And then since we're midway in the week here, it's going to be 100% green. And as soon as we reach like 100% green, we can also approve this checklist here. Of course, there's like lots of different approval structures, but for this one, we're going to approve it. I have a signature saved, otherwise sign it directly on site, hold to save, and that's it. So the concept for the platform here is that the guy doing these checklists here, or like getting the data on site in his tab sheet, does not need to do anything else. The system must do that for them. So that means the system has already done all the backend calculations. Let's go out of this mobile interface here. Done all the calculations. It has also created the final report for us already. So that report is actually already prepared and ready to be sent to the client or combined in a larger final commissioning report. So let's open Building A here. Building A, air handling unit 01, marked as approved today's date. And if you go over to the right side here, it says 100%, and these 100% is then scaling upward throughout the system structure. So that's like the quick overview you get from the equipment and the structure that you've built here. Since this is approved 100%, it has pushed the file into the file section. So diving into the files and the sidebar, you see the files, we got the different folders here. And at the bottom, so of course, customize the folder structure here. But the bottom folder, that's the core one, because that's the one which includes like these automatic reports for us. So you see Building A, air handling unit 01 is a valid file and ready in here. So clicking on that one will then show you what like a default report would look like. Of course, like your logo and your colors and all of that. No trace of CXplan and the exports. But whatever metadata that we're giving here, so that could be the model, the manufacturer, all of that stuff. Signatures, and then you're coming down to the different line items. See this happy guy here. Yeah, it could also be a picture of the equipment, or it could be like, the table with the data inputs and the calculations, because the calculations can also be done like normal spreadsheets. So all of that is done for us automatically inside the system here. The same goes if it was like an equipment or anything where we have some failures on, was also automatically logged inside the system and generated punch list items, which would be sent out to the relevant parties. For the last couple of minutes here, I'll just dive over to another project that I have. So you should see here, that's a timeline project. That's just to visualize how you can like include the time aspect in your project in CX Planner. On this one here is you have quite an extra few items in the sidebar, especially the timeline here. So the timeline, as you see, that is also something that you can either build up or import directly into CX Planner, whether it's general work packages that you need to perform, like this one here, idea phase, and then the various activities, or if it's more like test and tab based, we're going to put that in and do that as a tracking element. You got all the same capabilities. That means everything is like drag and drop. You got dependencies, so you can make items dependent on each other, and that way we have an auto scheduling timeline. Each one of the bars here is within CX Planner, not just a bar for a timeline. It has the extra aspect that you can double click on them, and then it actually opens it up. So that means within the timeline, you can attach photos, files, comments, and lots of extra stuff. So our timelines has this default element, but then you can just add all of those extra elements behind it too. Saving baselines, critical path, that kind of stuff. So when we're moving all of this stuff here, we're saving it continuously within the database. So you can always like stack the different test scripts above each other to see that they're working together. And then I think the last thing for the timeline here that I would like to show. That is the third aspect. So we have the single bars here. Clicking on those, you see that we can add comments, assign it to people, but we can also mark it on a drawing. So as soon as we upload drawings to the project here, we are allowed to open them like this and mark it. Doing that will then have this single line in the timeline, which could be an activity to attest, and then also the corresponding location within the platform or within the drawings or schematics that you have. So you get timeline, test, tracking, all of that in one utility and one main overview. And then I'm thinking I'm hitting the spot on the time here. How's that, Cassie?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Thomas. Just to explain to everybody what you are giving away today, and then we will get into some Q&A. So if y'all have questions, put them in the Q&A now, and we will ask Thomas.
So for CX Planner, there's a discount on the first year that you're getting into the platform here. And of course, if you just reference that you've been on this webinar today here, then you're also entitled for our full onboarding and our full conversion package. That conversion package is that my team will help you convert all your existing documents, that is test script, tab sheets, and all of that into the CX Planner format. So at the day that you're going to start with CX Planner, it's just like one click, and then you're up and running with the platform here. And yeah, you just got to write CX Planner in the Q&A to participate in that one.
All right, sounds good. If y'all have any questions, put those in the Q&A and we will ask. The first question coming in says, do you have integrations or RESTful API?
Yes, so we have an API that you can get access to. It is the basic one. It is a REST API, yes. So we get post, put, delete, all of that as a basic ones. And then you have different verification methods. So yes, a normal REST API.
All right, next question says, how is the ability to format within the body of the reporting system?
So within the body of the formatting, so the report I showed before, that's the default export that you're getting out from the system. Then you can customize how much or how less of the data you want out in your reports. In all of the reports, you have what is called like a detailed description section. Within that one, you can type in and write whatever text that you need, copy paste photos in, that type of stuff. All of those reports can then be used in our main report builder. So the main report builder can generate different kinds of reports. So that could be a weekly report, a monthly report, or you can even generate like the full systems manual. So you're just going to drag those things together. It's like drag and drop system. So if you decide to drag in some of the analytics, drag them in, put them in. The same goes for different files, put them in. Normally what we see is that our users is making like templates for reports and then using attributes or variables. So those variables will be generic text. So on a new project, you're just going to click update to the current project, and then the values will be filled into those basic variables.
All right, next question. Is CX Planner compatible with construction management platforms?
So that's a yes and a little no. So on the yes part, our users use CX Planner for the main part of the commissioning. So if you're on a project where they're using Procore, Autodesk Construction Cloud, Dialux, or some other PM software, then we normally see CX Planner as a dedicated platform for doing the verification, the testing, the tab, all of that aspect. But some of our other clients also use it in a more broader scope. I just showed you the timeline element within our platform. We also have a full file area that keeps track of all the versions, revisions. You can do annotation and markups. You could manage the submittals from the subcontractors. So you can actually manage lots of the general project management utilities in our platform. So in some cases, our platform's scope is expanded from the general commissioning to also include the PM work.
All right, I think we can do maybe one more question. This one says, does CX Planner have the capability to utilize markups from PDFs to create issues or notes within the app?
Yes. So the documents that you're uploading, whether it's like normal PDF drawings or if it's 3D models, then you can open them and then you can do markups directly in them. So if you have like could be a normal schematic or something like that, then make an arrow or a sky around whatever needs to be changed. That will automatically take a screenshot of that specific drawing, that specific section, and then create an issue from that, which you can assign to whoever needs to be assigned to it. Then you can actually also work on the drawings with those issues, or you can work in a normal table format with those issues also later on. That gives you like the possibility to extract directly from the platform too and send it to whoever who needs it, since we're also taking the screenshots of the document with the annotations on.
All right, thank you so much, Thomas. We appreciate you participating today. And we're gonna get into announcing some of our giveaway winners for today. So first of all, thank you to all of our companies who presented today and all of you who participated and listened. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much to everyone who attended today's showcase. We hope you found value in learning about these new technologies from some of our sponsors. You will receive a follow-up email with presenter contact information and the session recording. We ask that you please take a minute to fill out the brief feedback survey to help us improve this structure for future events. Don't forget to mark your calendar, as you'll see on screen, for CX Energy 2025, which is happening in just a couple of weeks, in April 28th to May 1st in Charlotte, North Carolina. This year's technical program will feature in-depth sessions on testing, adjusting, and balancing, HVAC system optimization, energy efficiency, and building performance, all led by industry experts and seasoned professionals. You'll also have the chance to explore a robust exhibit hall showcasing cutting-edge tab tools, HVAC products, software solutions, and services from leading companies in the industry, some of whom you heard from today. Visit www.cxenergy.com for more information, and to register, you can also scan the QR code that is on your screen. We appreciate your time, and we hope to see you again at a future AABC event. Thank you so much.